Hey everyone, we are back at a very familiar spot. We're going to do the Wind Gap to Delaware Water Gap, and had to get away from the road a little bit. It's pretty busy today. This is a repeat trail for us, which is fine. We've done trails multiple times, but we have a new backpacker. This is Shadoe. We got Kurt. Just going to be the three of us today. So it's his first backpacking trip. And we'll see how it goes. I think he'll be all right. But hopefully we don't get any party animals at camp this time. We are up on the ridge. Been up here for a little bit now. Man, the climb out of Wind Gap. I kind of forgot how rough part of that is. Especially when you're coming just out of the car all fresh. But it's still not a terrible climb. Definitely not the worst I've experienced on the AT. Yeah, we are in the shade. We're away from the road. Just talking and enjoying the hike so far. It's kind of funny. So, since Shadoe's a new backpacker, and he's like ex-military, so he did what most of us do, you know, pack extra stuff that you don't need. So he ended up leaving some of that in the car, which I think he seemed grateful for that after dealing with that climb. But yeah, this is one of those things. On the way here I told him, you know, we always pack our fears, especially when you start backpacking. And I think everyone is prone to do it. I don't think anyone escapes it. So just one of those things we all kind of adjust and modify with every trip until, you know, you get what you want out of your kit, whether it be a certain weight or a certain setup. Love all the ferns. It's one of my favorite parts of our local forest in the summertime. Trees are spaced out, and just ferns for as far as you can see. Stopped for lunch. I had my usual wrap and some tuna. Shadoe had a mountain house. He had the chili mac and cheese. And Kurt, well, let's not talk about his lunch. Definitely watch his video of this trip, and he'll tell you all about his amazing lunch.
There's gonna be more in my video about this after I'm done actually talking.
But it's been a good trip so far. We're a little less than halfway. The worst part of the trip is Kurt's lunch, and only he has to suffer from that. Unless
I swap all your meals out.
I'm not hanging my hammock too close to you tonight, that's for sure. But yeah, so it's not too bad. We're looking at like, I think it's roughly 9 miles total for the day, and we're at like 3.5. And we're on the easy section now. Once you get up that initial climb, it's pretty good. There's a few rock gardens, but most of the trail's not bad. When we get to Wolf Rocks, then we got some like bigger boulders and stuff like that. But yeah, mostly smooth sailing, so the rest of the day should be nice, and we have more than enough time. We're trying not to kill the new guy here. All right, we are coming up to Wolf Rocks, and I don't remember how much of a view we can get from here, so we'll see. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have this place to ourselves. It's kind of cool. Don't know if we'll see any snakes up here. There might be. It's a good sunning spot for them. But someone did just have a dog up here, so sometimes that's enough. There you go. We're gonna continue that way. Well, I don't see any snakes.
No snakes. That's good. Wouldn't be the first time.
There's a little bit better view out than where we were before. I actually forgot these little pop-out points were here.
You'd have to have like a chest camera on or something. Like a GoPro.
Yeah, they help a lot when you're I already caught Kurt falling on rocks in camera. Don't make it a second one.
Are you videoing?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, we made it to camp. We are at the Kirk Ridge shelter. It's like right there. We're not staying at the shelter though. You know, we have the hammocks. So, little tour of camp. We got Kurt and his setup right there. Then I'm right here using the Costco quilts for this. It's gonna be a warm night, but then we have Shadoe set up right here. For the first time setting up, he did pretty good. And right here is our dinner setup.
Really? You know, after I bought this one, I heard about the alcohol ones.
I resist the alcohol stove.
Yeah?
Like, I don't like the idea.
Is it better, you think, or no?
They're
And
not real efficient.
this is normally reserved for winter time,
Oh, sorry.
but got the good old venison goulash. So
They're light.
be a nice hearty meal after our hike.
Like you?
There it is. Time to go in the pouch. And so like I dehydrate a lot of my own dinners, like lunches and stuff. I do wraps or whatever. But the water's like kind of just barely covering the food. That's usually what you want. I do remember the last time I made this, I think I needed more water than I thought I did, but we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna go in the pouch and wait. Kurt's dinner from the same company his lunch was from was less than optimal. But Shadoe has like spare mountain houses, so he's got them covered. There's a little peek at the venison goulash. Kurt wasn't the big fan of it. He normally likes my venison goulash, but I didn't give him any this time. But this has mushrooms in it, and that's something new I've done. I never added them before. So, been making it long enough that I'm starting to experiment with it a little bit. Mushrooms weren't bad, but I'd put far less in it next time I make it. I don't want the dry corners, man.
Nah, nothing worse than dry corners. Get down the end, that's a good breakfast. You get a spoonful of dry oatmeal.
Right. So what you put the coffee in the bottom there and it just comes right out?
Yep.
That's
yeah.
cool.
And it's like coffee I freshly ground yesterday morning before we left.
Oh wow. Hey.
So it's one of the best ways to have fresh ground coffee. Ground coffee on the trail. Oof, that's loud.
Wake up, damn it.
All packed up. And for how much we lounged and took our time, not a bad start. It's a little bit after 9. And considering today's only roughly a 5.5 mile day, we have plenty of time to do it. It's one of the nice things about trips like this. There's no real rush. Lets you enjoy it a little bit more. So, as we continue, it's a great morning, but look at the forest floor. Something we encountered yesterday. It already looks like we're well into fall. Again, it's only the end of August. It's crazy. I don't know if it's because of how dry everything's been. Now here in the Northeast, we're not going through the crazy drought scenario that they are out west, but we are still in a drought situation. It's not as dire, but it's all we can figure is maybe the trees are just shutting down early. Like, okay, I can't feed the leaves, let's drop them. Don't know, it's weird. And yesterday, not really seeing it too much here, but a lot of leaves we saw down yesterday were still really vibrant, like very much alive. So it's odd. I don't think the fall foliage hunters are going to have a lot to view this year, because even on the trees, I think that's where we're at right now. I mean, they're still definitely green and whatnot, but Just very different than what we're used to seeing for this time of year. Coming down into the Delaware Water Gap. Some of the passes here through the rhododendron are really cool. Definitely helps drive home that whole green tunnel nickname for the AT. Oh, Kurt ended his video, so I might as well do it too. We're almost to the parking lot. It's a good second day. It's way more humid than what it was yesterday. Every time we get into these spots where the sun's poking through, you can just feel like the instant heat. But Shadoe survived. Made it out of the woods. Learned a few things along the way. The main thing you learned is don't buy a pack like that. Don't listen to your army buddies. Don't buy a pack like that. Not for backpacking. But that's gonna be it. He survived his almost 15 miles or whatever it is. And he still wants to do it again, so that's an added bonus.